Our new pictures show how a drug cartel working here in Atlanta tried to hide drugs in sheetrock, even package them as speakers.
New at 6, Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie live in downtown Atlanta. And Mark, drug agents told you that cartel's connected to convicted drug lord El Chapo.
And we're told this is just one of the guns. This is just some of the drugs and some of the more than $300,000 in cash seized in raids this weekend. Images that speak to Metro Atlanta's prominence in American drug trafficking. We begin with a man who told us he worked undercover for DEA, and basically he risked his life against El Chapo's organization.
You can't turn that switch off. You're always going to be looking over your shoulder. You're always going to be looking twice when you drive home.
It's the center of the drug trafficking universe now. I mean, this is what used to be the 80s for the Miami is what it is now with Atlanta. We are the primary transshipment point. It's also stayed here. It's produced, as you can see from this past weekend. We had 450 pounds of meth for the eastern half of the U.S. This is it.
A story of deadly dope, new and old. Atlanta DEA Special Agent in Charge Robert Murphy says the conviction of Sinaloa cartel leader El Chapo was a mammoth victory for law enforcement.
Finally, we got him. So this is the Super Bowl trophy for drug law enforcement.
But personal to him, because the Sinaloa cartel cost him the best undercover agent he's ever seen.
The phone rings. If you pick up the wrong phone and answer the wrong way, then you're done. The whole thing, years of, investigations and evidence goes down.
Murphy says threats against the undercover from the Sinaloa cartel were so alarming he had to pull him off the street.
We couldn't keep putting him at risk.
A scary moment when you hear your name or somebody talking about you to you. That's definitely a call that you never forget.
Murphy says though a jury convicted Joaquin Guzman Loera, a.k.a. El Chapo, on multiple counts in New York, his impact on Metro Atlanta continues. That roughly 450 pounds of crystal meth seized at labs in Milton and Ellenwood this weekend is believed tied to either Sinaloa or a violent offshoot, now a cartel itself, called Jalisco New Generation.
They were the enforcement arm for the Sinaloa.
Murphy says while Georgia is not mentioned in the indictment of which El Chapo was convicted, some of the massive dope loads involved were doubtless transshipped through Metro Atlanta. The DEA agent in charge says most of the drugs on Metro Atlanta streets in recent years, including the heroin sold in the notorious trap known as The Bluff, came from the Sinaloa cartel.
As he was the first to include mixing fentanyl in with the heroin. That was his.
Now we're told 6 residences were hit this weekend and 5 counties. 6 arrests. Reporting live in DEA headquarters in downtown Atlanta, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.